you doing there, folks? My name is Bruce. A lot of you know me from some previous episodes of the Nexweave show. Thank you for joining us. Let's go ahead and jump in and get started. All right, guys. So today is Thursday. It's been a few weeks since we had our previous episode. That being said, without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce one of the founders of Nexweave, Ender. Let me go and bring him on. There we go. Hey, Ender.
Hello, everyone.
So we have some extra guests with us today, so let's go ahead and introduce them. Number one is going to be Harpreet. Say hello and introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I'm Harpreet, one of the co-founders. And I look after the Nexweave experience, and all the tutorials, training material, templates that you see. And I'm also looking forward to connect with our community members personally.
Mm-hmm.
So that's me.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us. A lot of you guys know Mrs. Sel Evans from previous episodes. Harpreet has also been with us in previous episodes. Sel, say hello.
Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you. I know it's been a while, but I do have a bunch of demos kind of saved up for you guys. And yeah, so I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. Thank you for joining us. Last but not least, we have the newest member to the Nexweave team, Shreya. Say hello, Shreya.
Hi, everyone. It's very nice to be formally introduced. I work closely with Harpreet on the user experience and the communications aspect of the platform. And as she mentioned, we're really looking forward to sort of getting hands-on feedback and just first-hand insight into how the experience has been and how we can make it even better.
Perfect. Love that introduction. That being said, Omar, thank you for joining us today. Hello, buddy. Appreciate you joining us. All right. So, guys, we have a lot of things to cover. We have updates from the team. We've already done some of the intros with some of the new members. Harpreet has joined us before in the past, so it's technically not new, but kind of, because we don't see her that often. Sel has her walkthrough that she has to go through. So who wants to go first?
I think we should start with the updates because they're anxiously awaiting.
All right. Means you and me are going first. Let's go ahead and let the girls go. Girls, will bring you right back, okay? There we go. All right. Andrew, let's go ahead and get started with the updates. We got a lot to cover.
Yeah, so it's been a couple of weeks. We didn't have the sessions because we're working very hard in terms of figuring out a few more things on the platform, making it a lot more easier. So if you check the platform now, we have teams and workspaces active. So you can start inviting people to come and work on the templates that you're also working on. Right now, we just permit one workspace, but we have plans to add multiple workspaces in the coming few months. But yes, for those of you who are waiting for collaboration features, you can now start inviting people to come and work on your templates. By the end of this month, you'll also have sub-accounts available. So that's another thing that we were working on. Apart from that, we have some new team members join in. You just met Shreya, so she's been with us for the past 6 months. She and Harpreet are the ones who are behind all the videos, the documentation, the improvements in the UX that you're getting a look at. And they will soon be interacting with a lot of the users to get first-hand insights in terms of what they want to see in the platform, what we want to improve, etc., etc. There's an augmentation on the engineering team as well. So you'll see a bunch of features being released together because we didn't want to, we wanted to hold back some of the features till everything is looking better and also fix a few more flows onto the experience. So for those of you who've seen that now when you're creating a video experience, you get the option to choose whether you want to do it for a mobile experience or a desktop experience. That's just a glimpse into the changes in the UX that are going to happen. Other than that, we've been extremely active looking at partnerships to see how we can get in some video recording providers integrated to the platform, some landing page providers integrated into the platform. So I'll just hold up those discussions till they actually fructify. But once all of those are ready, the whole thing's going to be a lot more seamless where you have a qualified video recording provider, you record the videos, push that media assets into Nexweave, augment them, and push them into your favorite landing pages so that the whole thing can move in very seamlessly.
Well,
And
okay.
there's one more thing to go. We are also going to be introducing landing page personalization very soon. I think I gave you guys a glimpse of how the plugin's going to look. So very soon, and it won't be just for WordPress. It'll allow you to modify landing pages on any platform as such. So it's going to require a lot of testing. We'll probably work with about 80% of the landing page providers. We'll work with custom landing pages for sure. But yes, those are the large chunks that we are working on, and a lot of that will be released within the next month itself.
Perfect. We've had some integrations that we can talk about because they have been released in the past 45 days. Can you mention those real quick too?
So I think we covered about 25 integrations in our last session itself. Since the platform was going through some updates, we had to update the entire documentation. So the new version of the documentation is also due to release this month. That would probably have thrice the number of pages which were there in our previous documentation, where Shreya and Harpreet have gone ahead and covered every micro detail in terms of how an animation can be added, how certain smaller elements can be configured, and some of the hacks are also going to be introduced. At the same time, we're having some discussions for new integrations to be brought in, especially for emails and LinkedIn automation platforms. So those will be immensely helpful for those who are doing lead generation or cold outreach. And what we'll also do is that this time we'll show you guys some examples on how to do it as well. We'll expand the template library, so you'll see more image templates because that came in as a request from a lot of the community members. So yes, April is going to be exciting. And in fact, April and May are months to watch out for because there are a ton of updates coming in. And there's something else, but it's still in our R&D labs, something that will allow your videos to speak names as well. But that's going to come after June.
Okay. I'm looking forward to the landing page personalization. So 2 questions then. One, is that specifically based on the pages that are being hosted, let's say, by my provider, like WordPress? Or are you referring to the videos that are actually saved on like Nexweave, as in the Nexweave hosted pages?
So we're going to start with your provider. So you'll get an option to switch assets onto your page itself, where you can replace a div which might contain text, images, or videos with the templates that you've got.
Right.
So you'll be able to invoke multiple campaigns into one landing page itself instead of just one at a time, which means that your page could now have an image that's personalized for you, a GIF that's personalized for you, a video that's personalized for you, and you can have as many of them as you want. So that'll be interesting because that's going to be the first phase of personalization. The second is going to be where we will start inviting in certain more triggers like reverse IP identification, etc., etc. So the second phase might come in a little later, probably after June, but the first phase is going to be going live this month.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. Warwick says this is incredible. Mobile centric is a must. I think he's referring to the client experience. Now that you guys have the ability to choose or switch between desktop and mobile, and I totally agree with that. Eventually, I'd like to see to the point where I don't have to choose, where maybe the way how a page is rendered is done automatically on Nexweave's side, where we don't have to select one experience or the other, right? It would be ideal if, based on the type of delivery or based on the type of device that we're delivering content to, Nexweave would be automatically be able to see, oh, okay, based on this resolution, I know it's a mobile device, right? Or a vertical device. Okay, fine. And then et cetera, for desktop. Instead of having to choose one or the other, that way, it'll be basically just have ease of use, because sometimes campaigns can be thrown into multiple different devices and we may not know, and we don't want to have that experience be a negative experience in the process. So Warwick, I do understand the value of it, but I'm thinking, a little bit longer term down the line, where eventually I'd like to see it where it's automatically optimized for both without having to select one or the other. Yeah.
So in fact, that's a good point. It came up in some of our discussions as well. But at the same time, there were some instances where people were using Nexweave personalized videos in terms of ad inserts on their pages. And that's where those standard resolutions don't matter. They try to modify them based on how they've laid out their own page. So, which is why we'll probably see a few more examples of how people are implementing it, and then maybe we'll bring in that sort of intelligence a little later. But for the time being, what we've seen is that the implementations are very varied to bring in some sort of an automation on that end. So we'll have to probably wait for a few while to get there.
Makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. All right. I think that covers it. That's it for updates. So let me go ahead and bring everyone back, and feel free to chime in before we move on to the next segment. Harpreet, do you want to add anything in, or Shreya? By the way, you two are muted. FYI. There you go.
Sure, are you going?
Yeah, just a quick thing about the mobile and desktop. So in a lot of like the way that we wanted to organize the UX and the changes that we made, also keeping Bruce's point in mind, was that what we've tried to do is basically make the campaign such that they can design separately for different device types, but the link that is sort of sent out during the campaign is the same. So we want to make the experience compatible for different device types without the user actually having to create different campaigns or different videos for it. So even though at the moment the software doesn't have the intelligence to or the auto responsiveness to resize the video, the users do have the ability to create a video separately for desktop and mobile and send it through one unique or one compact link.
Makes sense. Yeah. And I look forward to that too. It'll just increase ease of use for everyone that's involved. Yeah. Harpreet, do you want to say anything? You're muted too, by the way. Oh, you're back.
Oh. Yeah, so apart from that, like Inder mentioned, 25 integrations that were done. So we are planning to roll out the documentation for all of that. And on top of that, we are trying to get the get started page ready so that as soon as a new user comes or an existing user comes, so it eases the process for them to understand like how this particular platform has to be used. So once we have that in place, we'd be rolling it out. In fact, we would want to seek feedback from our current users to understand how the whole process makes it easier for them, or what we can do to make it easier for them. Apart from that, so we have videos which span over like 7 to 10 minutes, and we also are making the shorter videos which are just snippets, like which goes up to like 20 seconds or 10 seconds or like 30 seconds to just to give them an idea how to use a component. So that's another one. And yeah, so that's what we've been working on.
Nice. Knowing that we have some of those updates, Sel, what do you think about what's coming up in the pipeline or down the future?
Oh, I'm excited. I heard him say reverse IP lookup, and I was like, yes! Oh, goodness.
Like, yeah.
Right. I think for anybody who knows what that means, it's gonna really make it's gonna really take Nexweave to that next level. I mean, Nexweave already offers some things on the platform that really nobody else does. But putting in that component would really make the personalization piece of, landing pages and everything else that they're doing so much easier. So very, very exciting. Very, very, very exciting. So yes, landing page personalization is going to be huge. I've been actually forcing it on some of my platform for demos already. So it'll be nice to do that a little bit faster for clients.
I'm looking forward to, just FYI, the Nexweave branded landing pages where the video's hosted. So that way we could apply like our own embeds, our own call to actions. You'll see a video that's hosted, right? Or let's say it's a photo or a GIF with like interactive elements on it, but it's hosted on a Nexweave page. That's what I'm looking forward to, is having that Nexweave page with like a basic builder with like apply a background. These are the call to actions below it. You can insert some embeds. That's what I'm looking forward to, is I don't have to rely on a client's website, because sometimes like I may not have access to their web if I'm working with a client, right? Great. I want my own standalone hosted mini page of here's your asset, like your photo, your GIF, your video, and then here are the interactive elements that you could apply, insert, modify, customize, blah, blah, blah. Not just from an ease of use, but also gives me an extra layer of personalization that I can collaborate with the client, and they don't have to modify or play or get their web developer involved at all. Yeah, that's something I look forward to, is those types of pages. That being said, Warwick Hansen, brilliant. We're designing a mobile video magazine that's inserting video. Love that. And if we could deliver it to recipient from a personalized database, yes. Eventually next we might, I don't know if we might have a CRM component, but if not, you can use your existing CRMs that have the ability to go ahead and do, kind of like email campaigns, so to speak. And then you would just deliver the Nexweave content through there. But I'm interested to see how that would work. So, Warwick, let's have you contact the Nexweave team on other channels, right? Like, just contact us in support chat or on the Facebook page. We want to work with you on this, and we can see how we can do. Let's see what we can do to help make that a little bit better. No, actually, I've had a relationship with Gage, and I don't know who this is, Mr. John Smith, or Mary Jane. Please give StreamYard your permission, so that way I can see who you are and give you a shout out. So guys, please go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. And so that way I can give you a shout out for joining us today. I've been friends with Gage for about 2 years. Gave him a lot of, tips and tricks and hacks and insight on the platform back when he first launched it, like, I don't know, what was it, August of 2019, 2018? I can't remember. It's been so long. But I prefer StreamYard over Restream. So just FYI, that's what I choose to use. And I've told that to all my partners. StreamYard is the way to go. Let's see, Warwick. As a digital marketer, we're moving into hyper-personalization. Love and appreciate the innovation. Great. Then you're definitely going to like what Intervention is coming down the line, because on top of your web-hosted pages, on top of personalized and interactive elements, which we'll have for photo, video, and GIFs, then you might have maybe some audio components dripped in there too. So you'll have hyper-personalization just pouring right out of Nexweave to help you with your marketing needs. So, Warwick, yes, please definitely contact us. You're very welcome. And let's set up a meeting and let's see what we can do to help you out. So appreciate that, and thank you for joining us. All right, moving on to the next one. Harpreet or Sel, which one of you would like to go first?
I don't mind. I can do it. I don't mind. I'll go next.
All right.
So I know we've long awaited a demo from BotStar. I had put up a video. I'm not sure who saw it, but I took it down shortly after because I think the Nexweave team would like nicer videos put up with their branding and stuff like that. So I took it down, but I had every intention of kind of showing everybody on one of these lives exactly how to use these Nexweave experiences within BotStar. I know a lot of people also want to see TechSaw and things like that. So I'll put up a survey in the group this week to see what you guys want to see next week. But I have plenty of demos kind of ready to go for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and we'll get started.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right.
All right.
There we go.
All right. Bring it up. There we go.
All right, cool. So this is the one that we are going to do today. It is just a meeting confirmation. And I'm going to use BotStar, and I'm going to have this little meeting confirmation pop up within my BotStar once somebody schedules a meeting. So I am actually just using a template within BotStar, which is their appointment bot. I have made no changes to this bot at all. So I just implemented that, and I am going to go into the module and place this image in there. So once they book and they select their meeting time, it is going to display it just like it does here in the image. Okay, let's get started.
Hey,
so
is it possible if you could zoom in a little bit?
No learn very quickly if you're running a lot of these campaigns that you really need to, that you really need to name these well if you ever want to find them again. So I am going to put meeting confirmation. At this point, I think I have like 100 pages of campaigns, so it's really hard to find them. Oh, goodness. Okay, so then you're just going to select your template here. And I believe I named it meeting confirmation. There we go, right here. Save and proceed. All right, so you'll notice some of this is actually a little different. Now you can choose URL override or quick campaign there. It's kind of grayed out, but you can choose the fallback. These fallbacks are always going to be like, okay, whatever it is that you want to show up if nothing else if it doesn't have the variables are not filled in and wherever you're pulling the information from, this is what you're going to want to display. So I'm just going to put friend and I'm going to put coming soon on that. Okay, so then we're just going to hit save and launch campaign. You can also preview the image now. There has a view image there for you. All right, get the embed code. So you'll notice here, BotStar is already listed here. So what's going to be really important, this is super important, is to make sure that whatever variables you're using in your experiences are mapped correctly to whatever database you're using. In this case, it's going to be BotStar. So first name here. And what I like to do is I like to copy and paste my data. So in this case, for BotStar, it's going to go under variables. So they're booking an appointment. So this is the one that I'm going to want to display under meeting. So you're just going to paste it right here and you're going to hit add. And you're going to generate your code. I've noticed that now when I hit generate embed code, there's usually a lot, if it's a video, there's a lot of different options now with Nexweave. That's a recent thing. It kind of helps with creating faster campaigns depending on what you're doing. But in this case, it's just an image, so it just gave me one option. So I'm going to take that. Okay, so you have to remember in BotStar, when somebody enters information, you have to remember to update the attribute for that particular person. That's the only real way that it's going to be able to recognize the attribute. So you'll notice here in this flow, and like I said, I made no changes to this flow. It is as it came, stock from BotStar. It updates all of the variables based off of what the answers are. Okay, and then what I did was we inserted the image here. So I'm going to show you how to do it by deleting that. You're just going to go in and you're going to select image. You're going to drag and drop it on in there. And you're going to be surprised at how crazy easy this is, because all you're going to do is you're going to paste that image right there. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and test our bot once we finish making these connections. You're going to paste your image there, and then you're going to continue your flow. Let me make sure that. So now you've done a few things. You've made sure that the attributes are updated correctly, and then you're going to display them in your photo. Okay, so let's go ahead and book an appointment. Let's book an appointment. So now this is just functionality built into BotStar, so none of this is anything I did. All right, and there we go. Since I am in example mode, it is going to just label me as guest, but you'll see there that it does put our appointment time in there, and it displays it just ever so perfectly. So I know when I figured out how to do this and how incredibly simple it was just to copy that over, make sure that the attributes were ready to be displayed. Yeah, it's incredibly simple. It's incredibly simple. So have at it and make sure that your attributes and your variables are mapped correctly, and it is super easy to do.
So, question. For someone setting that up for the first time, how long do you think that's going to take?
Okay, so it depends on how long it takes you to make the image. But honestly, me doing something like that would take me maybe like 15 minutes, right? Because from the time that once you know what the image is going to be, setting that up might take 5 minutes, right? The creativity part and what variables are you going to use, that's really the part that takes a little bit longer. But the main parts are understanding what variables are and that they're mapped correctly. Those are really, really, really essential to making Nexweave work correctly. Okay, so I think if we can get people to understand the mapping of the variables, then the ease of use with Nexweave it's just gonna come with a little time and a little use.
So then if anyone has any issues and they're going to be like, oh, well, it's going to take me longer than 15 minutes, they're all going to come at you. But at the same time, A, thank you. And then B, guys, you heard it here. It's only going to take you 15 minutes to do a personalized, enhanced BotStar campaign using the Nexweave BotStar integration. So
yeah, and just notice that was just a stock bot that I used, and I just inserted Nexweave. So whatever you currently have, just as long as you're updating the variables correctly, you can insert those exact same variables onto an image and you're ready to go. Okay, so very easy to do once you understand that you can just copy and paste that image right into BotStar. So have at it. Have at it, and it will really enhance your BotStar experiences.
I'm looking forward to that. I have BotStar. I'll play with that too. If anyone inside the BotStar group knows or can tag one of the admins or one of the founders, what we'll do is we'll share the page URL or the YouTube link with them. Maybe we can even get them to do a live stream together. So we're more than happy to. If anyone wants to connect us up with anyone on the BotStar team, more than happy to.
And I do want to throw in, if anybody wants to do a video, one of the ways I've seen to do that is to simply still update all the variables, but then create a button that has a redirect. Right, you can always do that. So I haven't figured out how to embed the video into BotStar just yet. I'll probably have to work with Nexweave, see if that's possible as of now, but it may be a limitation on BotStar's part for now. But you can do a redirect to either a Nexweave landing page or your own landing page using the variables that you've collected within BotStar. So still able to use the videos, just not sure yet if you're able to actually embed the video experiences. But image experiences, quick, ready to go.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that, Ms. Sell. Looking forward to what you're going to have to show us next week. Any ideas or...
I want to show Texaw. It's one of my favorite integrations, and it's actually probably why I have like 100, probably more than 100 pages worth of campaigns that I've already run, is because they're always running in the background for me. So anybody who does prospecting of any sort, this is going to be a really, really good one for you to see. Setting up some automations and stuff. One of the main reasons I signed on to Nexweave so quickly is because I saw they were integrating with Texaw, and I was like, that was a huge one for you guys to start off with. And I've been using it ever since, and it's really, honestly, grown into one of my favorite tools.
Perfect. All right.
In fact, I think Texaw is the one that many of them are actually waiting for. So I'm sure with this announcement, we'll have a much larger audience base next week.
Okay, yeah. So definitely we'll be clear about what time we're going to be on, because yes, Texaw is a really, really, really good one. I do a lot of different prospecting and stuff in the background using Texaw and Nexweave experiences.
Then let's do that. Let's save Texaw for next week. We'll spend a long time on that. thank you for go ahead and showing us the BotStar workflow and how the Nexweave integration works. Appreciate that. Harpreet or Shreya, should we go ahead and move on? Do you guys have anything that we want to cover this week before we let everyone go?
Inder has covered all the updates. We really don't have anything to show right now, but I just have a request that I'll be reaching out to people now, and I would request a little bit of their time to understand how they are using Nextweave and also how we can make it better for them. So just need a little bit of time. That's all.
Perfect, totally understandable. Shreya, you want to mention anything before we let everyone go?
No, I think Harpreet's covered the gist of where we come in and how we could now use our audience's help to sort of make this experience even better for them.
Perfect. All right, guys. I guess that's going to wrap it up for this week. So now you also know what to look forward to next week. So we'll hook up an automation platform called Texel with Nexweave. And hopefully Inder will be able to drop us a little bit more secrets or upcoming things that are top secret that are on the back burner. That maybe we'll be able to discuss a little bit more without me getting in trouble and opening my mouth. So yeah, hopefully guys, we'll see you guys hopefully next week. Thursday morning we're shooting for 9 a.m. Pacific, our normal times. And on that note, everyone, keep social distancing in mind, wash your hands, and we'll see you guys all next week.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Have a good one. Later.